All right, it's contest time, people.
Contest time.
We are doing a giveaway. Did you know that AMC is hosting private movie screenings starting at $100?
Get the fuck out of here.
No, I live here, but isn't that crazy? So we're giving away a $100 AMC gift card so you can rent your own movie theater. To enter, you have to follow us. You can follow me at Todd A. Johnson on Instagram or Jay at J_Connor. So that way you can find the link in our bio for this giveaway. Like I said, it's a $100 AMC gift card.
AMC gift card, baby.
You can have up to 20 people. They are being very safe with how they're sanitizing everything. But we're going to give you a $100 gift card to do what you want, to get your own private AMC movie screening. Right. Do you want to just watch a movie yourself? You want to invite a friend? You want to invite two guys who would probably want to go see a movie with you? You can do that. Or you can just tell us to fuck off. Whatever you want to do. But make sure to go and find us on Instagram so you can enter today.
3, 5. Make some noise!
Okay, welcome everybody to Making Noise.
What's up, y'all?
My name's Todd Johnson, and with me, as always, is the beautiful Jay Connor.
I'm so beautiful.
Beautiful.
I'm beautiful, like that Christina Aguilera song.
Yeah, exactly like that, Jay. Exactly like that. I'm super excited. So I got to meet one of your near and dear friends.
One of my near and dear friends. One of the first guys I played with in Charlotte, actually. Mr.
Yes.
Randy Paul.
Randy Paul.
Randy.
It's
just fun to say it like that. Randy Paul.
It was awesome. Awesome
Randy's
conversation.
a great dude.
Played a great song.
Yeah.
It's one of those guys that I've known about for years and heard great things about for years, and I don't know why I've never. Well, it's because we're gigging.
We're musicians, and
right.
when we're musicians who are gigging, you never see other musicians who are gigging.
Well, I knew he was I knew he was coming over today,
Yeah.
so I purposely made it a point to see his show on Friday, and then had a show pop up. But anyway, I need to tell you that. So we need to make a statement as far as our $100 AMC gift card giveaway.
We need a drum roll.
No, it's just more the fine print. Whoever wins,
Yep.
it is a randomized draw.
Randomized drawing.
And there are ways to get multiple entries. And
It's like a little game, man. You just gotta go do it. Just clicky.
Do you know who the person
who's winning?
Okay, well, it still could be random, but the person who has the most entries is your girlfriend.
Oh, good job, babe. Nice work.
Because she actually did the review one and then find us on YouTube and leave a comment and all that stuff. So she actually did, and the code that she did the secret code.
She did the secret code word. I didn't tell her what it was.
Well, good. So this episode is going to have a secret code word to make sure to put in as well. So just don't be mad at us, people of the world. Whoever wins the thing, we're not choosing it. We're putting the names in a thing. And then it automatically tells us, boop, this is the winner.
We literally paid somebody to do it.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
So go click.
Yeah, go click.
Clicky.
It's super easy. And
Clickety clack.
I was talking to somebody the other day and they're like, so is it like a $10 gift card? I'm like, no, it's
a $100 gift card, man. Come on, dog.
We're going, you can literally just go in a movie theater by yourself.
I'm not sending you out there to get a double cheeseburger.
No.
I'm sending you out there to get prime rib.
So this gentleman right here is a fantastic musician with a crazy, wonderful story just of everywhere he's been. And I know we didn't get
Barely
all the
scratched
crazy.
the surface.
Barely scratched the surface. This guy is fantastic. Make sure to check him out. And he plays a song at the end of this as well. And I just think shows a very smart songwriter. I really enjoyed it. This is our talk with Randy Paul. Yeah, we actually I brought the fancy preamp out for you.
Thank you, appreciate that. Good. I need it.
I knew.
I think we're all a little scratchy today. We're like,
yeah. I made a point not to go out so I could actually do this with their shit today. That's why I didn't do anything yesterday.
Oh man, yeah, this was a Friday. Have you noticed playing now, because we're in that weird area of it starting to get a little better? Have you noticed people just going insane?
Absolutely. It's nuts. And not just so much them. I mean, we watched the crowd Friday at Bradshaw's go bonkers, but then at the end of the night, I looked down and I had 10 empty shot glasses. I didn't purchase any of those. And I was just like, someone or some lot of people here know that I like Goldschlager, which is odd, but I do. And yeah, Fred was just like, "How you doing?" I was like, "Well, I'm fine." Why? And he's like, "Look," I was like, "Holy shit, did I do all that?" He's like, "You did." So that's the problem with the really long sets.
Yeah. Well, and
Like you're thirsty, you just take whatever they give you.
Well, I noticed too. Like there's a time where like I'll try to watch what I'm drinking on stage, and I'll
try.
know. Well, if you try, you know, kind of.
You just can't say no.
Yeah.
Someone gives it to you.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you can.
Well, that's why I'm trying to say.
I mean, have to be nice.
Wait a second. You know what's great is Jay has probably said that to you and me multiple times.
Yes.
Jay's the
Yeah.
guy who's in a band who's like, y'all could just be responsible. And we're like, well,
He's the
fuck
voice
it.
of reason. In the moment, it's like, that's not fucking happening.
Which is funny because anybody who's known me for a long time was going to be like, what?
Yeah, exactly. That's
Jay's
true.
the voice of reason.
Wait a minute, huh?
Yeah.
What happened?
If Jay's the voice of reason, we're not doing too good.
No,
What's wrong with the world?
ship is sinking if that's the case. So.
Yeah, I had to quit drinking for a little while because I was noticing like, all right, I have a beer or two, and this was like maybe beginning of this year, kind of around December or something. But like, I played a show and I'm like, how much did I drink? And then people brought it up, and I was thinking about, I'm like, I got an Uber to leave home. I got an Uber to leave from a gig.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like this. No, I had to take some time off for it. But,
Do you have to tip the guy extra to help you with your equipment?
well, I loaded up. I loaded up the gear, and while I was loading it, I was like, yeah, this is not good.
Yeah.
It's not going. You know what I mean? I was like, well, I got to figure out what I'm doing. So, but yeah, man, people are going bananas.
They are.
which is cool.
I love it.
But it's still in that weird area of like don't get us shut down. You know, like don't get us shut down. But
Yeah.
it's you know, I know here in a couple months, you know, I mean, come summer, especially for like outdoor stuff, like it's gonna be. I think there's gonna be a massive boom.
I agree. It's already starting a little bit. You see, the fuse is lit. So.
Yeah, well, 16 states have opened back up fully now.
Really?
Including our friends to the south.
Yeah, I don't feel good about Texas opening up fully right
Me
now.
either.
I was there for New Year's Eve, and they didn't seem to give a damn then. But yeah,
Well, I mean, and like, what's the difference? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest with
Right.
you. I was at a place in Charlotte last night that's a very millennial joint to go to.
Yeah.
And I walked in and was like, I don't really think I want to be here. And by the time I left, about an hour and a half later, I really didn't want to be here. And there was a line wrapped around the damn building.
Oh, shit.
Right.
You know, and I mean, you can't, there's no way that place was at half capacity.
Oh yeah.
Right.
No
I
way.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
Right.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. Like I go in like, man, this doesn't look safe. And a couple of drinks in, I'm out there dancing with everybody and having a good time. So I got to be better about that.
Well, that's where we're gonna do this. I remember there's somebody was running sound for like an outdoor event, like maybe in May of last year. He's like, I just can't remember this mask. The last thing I want to do is have someone take my picture and then end up at Queen City Nerve without my mask.
Yep,
Photography, you know,
Yep.
like
We were really good about
Just a deer
telling
in the
people.
hard lights.
Right.
We tell people if you want to dance, it's fine. Just have your mask on. And I mean, I don't remember that happening with anyone. But
yeah, it'll happen for a minute. And, then
and when
they
they're
just-
really cute, you're just like, I mean, that's the wrong thing to say, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just like-
for some reason we let you slide a little bit more.
Yeah.
There was a girl who stood on a table last night, which it was a vegan restaurant. It wasn't needed.
Oh, shit.
And but instead of just being like, hey, get the fuck down, I was like, honey, I know you look good, no, everything's fine, you feeling good, but just come and sit back down. I'm like, why am I being nice about this?
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And I was like, well, yeah, you know, it helps when they're
It does.
helps when they're
Jay can attest to this. It's impossible for me to be mean with anyone. I can't.
He can't.
I hate confrontation. I just
Yep.
like peace, love all the time without actually being a hippie at all. But it just, yeah.
So you were the kind of guy that will roll over on song requests all the time.
Well, Wagon Wheel's $2,500. It's only happened one time, and I'll never do it again. I'm sure no one's going to pay that. But
There you go. That's a good way. 2,500, man. I say Freebird for 1,000. I need to up my price.
well, that's just because I don't want to play it. So.
Well, exactly. No, that's what I'm saying. Same thing.
Yeah.
It's like this is no. Go
Yeah.
away. Don't ask for that one.
My favorite move for that is when they're like, do Freebird. And that one time, Todd and I we made the guy come on stage and sing it.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. And so, we'll play it, man. Just come over here and sing it. Come on.
I think you taught me once too when someone requests a song that you absolutely don't want to play. It's like, I remember my first beer too. Have a seat, sir.
Because I'm the guy that's like, no,
Not
we're not
gonna
going to do
happen.
that.
Yeah.
Have a nice note. Nope, we're not a jukebox.
Yeah, hell, when Jay's playing with us, he'll just flat out tell someone, nope, that's not happening. Like, thank you.
Yeah.
It's great. It's good to have the backup.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
because
great.
Randy will be like, "Oh man, I just don't. Yeah,
Yeah, too
well,
damn
could
nice.
y'all do that? I'm not sure if y'all could do. I'm not sure if they could do that. You know, and I'm just like, No.
I really appreciate that. I need that with me all the time. Trust me.
Yeah.
I need someone like that in my normal day-to-day life.
Oh, I know. We just have a Jay. Why do you think I do this show with him?
I should start charging y'all.
Yeah, no doubt.
A life coach over here.
How to say no.
Jay's like, wait, you and Randy are getting paid for this? And we're like, don't tell him. Don't tell him.
No, not at all.
How long have you guys been playing together? Because I've known you for years, y'all had already been playing long before.
2011, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It seems like 10 years.
Yeah, I was going to say around 10, 12 years.
Yeah, maybe a little bit past it. I think the very first time I ever played with you was at Stonecrest.
Was that with
Dempsey
Gibson?
Yeah, it was me, you and Dempsey.
Well, yeah, that's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
That was my first gig with you, was a Dempsey gig.
Yeah, which is funny. Yeah,
that's funny to think about.
That is, and
there you go.
At Sunset Club.
Yes.
Yeah, it was supposed to be me, Dempsey, and Brian Edmondson. Brian Edmondson couldn't play, and Dempsey said, "Oh, don't worry about it, man. I got it covered."
Gotcha.
Okay, and then that's where I met you.
And then that's where me and you met.
Right.
And then I didn't hear from you for months, and then we did that New Year's Eve thing.
Yeah.
Well, man, to bring that full circle, my good buddy Rick motherfucking Miller is what he goes by. Rick Miller, he was the owner of Sunset Club.
Okay.
And he gave me the first gig I ever had here in Charlotte, and he was there Friday night, and then I partied with him pretty much every weekend. Awesome guy, but we were just talking about Sunset just yesterday, so yeah.
That's crazy.
Crazy. Well, how long have you? Well, let's go further back. Like, where were you born? Where did you grow up?
Born in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay.
Played music in, I think my first big gig, I was in the 7th grade and played at a bar that had all like the early 90s hair band dudes that were still hanging on to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
A place called Bentley's Live in Indianapolis, and I was so stoked to play there. And I was really young, obviously, and it was a bar, and I had to sit in the broom closet in between sets and before we started.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really did. It was me and a mop bucket.
Yeah. So 7th grade. So yeah, I was a little younger than when I started, but I know what you mean as far as like, when you're in the bar and you're obviously a child.
Yeah, I was a child for sure. Yeah.
When did you start? Was it always guitar? Did you start with something else?
I started with guitar. It was probably in my 5th grade, 6th grade year.
Right.
I stole a bicycle from someone I kind of knew, and then got busted for that. And so I was grounded for the entire summer vacation of 3 months.
Okay.
And my grandmother felt bad, and she picked up like a 50-cent acoustic guitar that had 3 strings on it and gave that to me to
just for something
keep
to
me
do.
entertained. I mean, I couldn't leave my bedroom. Sorry, Mom, I'm letting out all your disciplinary skills here. She feels horrible about it now, but I'm glad she did.
It obviously worked out.
It did. I mean, it was probably a year later before I realized it was supposed to have 6 strings, to be honest. So
Right.
I was kind of doing the Niccolo Paganini style of learning on whatever you had. It was just like, oh,
Right.
cool. And then once I showed some progress with it, then my mother and stepfather bought me a little Fender Sidekick 25 reverb, which I wish I saw that damn episode. So
Wow.
good. So good.
Yeah.
And then like a little knockoff Stratocaster, and it was
Right.
fun. Yeah. And then just kept upgrading me every time I got better and better. They took good care of me. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Did they? So how did you get that first gig in 7th grade? Did you know somebody? Did you? How did
I
that
was
happen?
playing with a band called Victor Puppybone.
Okay.
Oh, that's a great name.
It's a great
Especially
name.
especially for a kid in the band. That sounds.
Well, we just sat around the table trying to figure out a name and smoked copious amounts of weed, and then the bass player just shouted out Victor Puppybone, and we all laughed for 20 minutes. It was like, that's it? I mean, why would it not
Done.
be? Why would it not be? It had absolutely no connotation of anything. It was just
funny. Just
3
made you
random
laugh.
words slammed together. It was like, yeah, that's good.
Just made you
Let's
laugh,
do that.
made you feel good.
And we were like a heavy metal band. Mike Head, the singer of that band, sounded like a mix between Ronnie James Dio and Bruce Dickinson. Just this big voice. Still a great singer. And we just went out there, and we still talk, and we're kind of like, we probably would have been like a Disturbed type band.
Gotcha.
Had we
Okay.
stayed together. It was just very heavy. I was
Right.
into really heavy guitar sounds and a lot of, I played lead better in the 7th grade than I do now. So that's a fact. It's because I don't do it anymore.
Well, it's just, yeah. It is one of those weird things of like, it's kind of like getting back on a bike, but you got to practice it a little bit
and
more.
the type of music we play now is not like that at all. So they're like, take a solo. Like, why is he ripping like Phrygian weird mode shit? Because that's all I ever knew lead wise. I'm like, it doesn't fit with G, C, D, and E minor. So
Right.
It's not diminished and half diminished and whole diminished chords.
yeah, it's way too bright and pretty
Yeah.
now. So.
So did you start like gigging around as a kid? Like what was that all you kind of did in school? Was just music, or was there anything else?
I played football, played soccer, wrestling. I was big into sports, but music kind of, took the forefront pretty early. And
but you ended up. I mean, you had some success with sports.
Yeah. I had some good success with sports, and then but music was always just more important to me. I liked it. I liked it's like the ultimate legal high is like getting on stage.
Right.
And I was that weird kid who liked to get up in front of class and talk, where a lot of people hated it. I really liked it.
Were you like class clown kid? Like
kind of.
I've got to get my attention in here
Well,
somewhere.
I was like, I got a lot of shit in here I want y'all to hear.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's important. Listen to what I say.
Yeah. And I'm like the opposite of the Toastmasters people. You know, I walked into a Toastmasters things once, sidebar here, and I was like expecting to hear like really good speakers because they were all adults. This was just a few years ago. And I walked in, it's like, oh no, this is for people who don't like this.
Right.
And they hate this. And it was like,
to make them better.
Yeah, I felt horrible. I was just like watching grown men like, and then anytime you'd say the word, there's like the coach had a clicker thing, like a dog clicker. And one guy I heard it like 30 times is like, I'm losing my mind. I have to leave this building right now.
I mean, every time he hit it, did it shock him like a dog?
It should have. No, it's just a clicking sound. But the thing is, it's like if he's having trouble, and every time you click that, it's like, fuck you, you're doing it wrong every time.
Just that story gives me anxiety.
Oh,
you know
my
what I mean?
God,
So
I
I
can
can't imagine being the dude.
Oh, it was terrible. Yeah.
God.
It was rough.
What did you like as far? Was there anything as sports wise and stuff? Did you say football? Would you play football?
Football was a tight end in high school, and all the way through. I guess what they call Pop Warner down here, but it was like little league football, and then all the way up through into college a bit. And
did you play in college?
I did.
Where did you go to college?
Purdue University.
Okay.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah. So my degree came many years after. No, but getting into that level of any kind of sports, I was a big fish in a small pond in high school, and so it was very, very different when you get into
in a college environment where there's so many, and you're like, oh,
everybody's really fast.
yeah, all the speed is there all of a sudden.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, but it was good times. And then, I mean, still, music was always my passion, and it was always a big draw for me, and kind of torn between what you want to do. And I just always got a lot more satisfaction out of playing music and writing songs. And yeah.
So where did the songwriting kind of stuff start? Like, was that always there with the first band, or was it?
It was. I wrote every song for the first few bands I was in. And
were you singing as well?
No.
Like the first, you weren't singing yet. Okay.
Oddly enough, I mean, I feel like I'm a better singer than guitar player now, but probably because I've devoted more time to it. But I didn't sing anything other than backup until pretty much. I mean, it's several stories into many bands later, but with a band called Olive Carpet, I did backup vocals, and I've always, and Jay knows this too, but I've always loved female singers. Like Sarah McLachlan's my absolute favorite singer of all time. I love her voice, and so I listen to her music just religiously. I still do, but I can't sing in her register, obviously.
Right.
So I just started finding things that sounded good with her, not realizing I was then training myself to sing harmonies. Right. And those have always come really, really easy for me. And then with a band that I was signed with, Olive Carpet, we had a singer already, and he wrote most of the songs. It was kind of just like plug and play.
This is where you can.
Yeah.
So were you the Richie Sambora of that band? Then?
Sort of. Yeah.
The side guy coming in.
Even when I go back and listen to the Olive Carpet record, I'm like, God, I sang really high back then.
Was that? Oh, that's a good thing. If you can listen back to an old record and find something that you like about it, that's good.
And my voice is extremely distinct on it too, which is great because a lot of times backup vocals are kind of buried or whatever.
They get buried.
I can hear myself so clear, and I still know all those parts because we did it for years and toured. Yeah, it was fun.
Right. So when was that a college band, or how did that start?
So I moved to Tampa, Florida. Probably would have been 99, I guess. And down in Tampa, I wanted to get kind of going in the music thing a little bit, and I met some people that were had a couple bands and sat in with them every once in a while, and then went on a double date. I was supposed to be dating a girl I worked with. And then my friend, whose name is also Randy, he was going to be dating this other girl. And ended up, I liked the girl that I wasn't supposed to be going on the date with.
So they switched Randy's.
Yes, exactly.
It's a sitcom.
Well, no, the other Randy
Double date with Randy.
The other Randy didn't do well with either of them, unfortunately. But
this Randy did great with both.
Well, with one of them anyway. But then I ended up following her down to Fort Myers. And when I got to Fort Myers, just, quite a bit smaller city than Tampa, had like the one music store where everyone hung out, and then like the bulletin boards. Remember those? Yeah, it's like pre-internet.
That's how you start. That's how you find someone in a band.
And I remember just seeing a sign that said, "Looking for a rhythm guitar player who can sing, preferably harmonies." And I was like, "Well, that's funny."
Yeah, perfect.
That's me, man.
I was like, I can do that. And so I tore the little, tag off and called them. They asked me to come to a show they were doing, which was like 2 nights later. And I go to this place called the Orbit Nightclub in Fort Myers. It's not there anymore, but it was a great place. And there's probably 500 people there. It was sold out to see the band that I was going to be auditioning for.
Sweet.
Which was great.
Well,
You're like, oh, wait a minute, this is a good idea.
I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, that is such, I'm starting with a leg up. I don't got to worry about the promo.
Exactly.
This is already done.
And I come in and get to meet the band before they go on. And they're like, oh, yeah, just listen. He goes, this is the guy you'll be replacing. I was like, oh, that sounds weird. It's like, no. Like,
was he like moving and it was cool?
Well, he was starting a family and was just like, he's like, stand over here. You can kind of see what I do on this side of the stage. And so I watched him just absolutely murder this crowd. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to join this band. Like, for sure. And played maybe 10, 12 shows with them. And then we got a record deal. So
from 10, 12 shows?
Well, they'd been playing for years.
They've been playing for years. And it was building. Who did you guys sign with?
It's a subsidiary of MCA. It's called Jean d'Arc Records.
Okay.
And the funny thing about this whole signing was that we had a band meeting, told we got this contract. We looked at the contract and everything looked good. They said, now we have to move it to Orlando because Orlando's where a lot of music was coming out right then. Tabitha's Secret, which became Matchbox 20, was just launching, or had just launched. Seven Mary 3, a band called Precious, and a band called Choke, all these bands. It was just kind of a hot spot.
Late 90s.
Backstreet Boys.
Well, yeah, them too, yeah. We'll tie into that too because of where we end up rehearsing and recording.
See, this is what's great. I don't know any of this story, and then Jay's just like, I'm going to remind you of something.
Yeah. But yeah, so they said we had to move to Orlando.
Okay.
I'd literally lived there for maybe 16 weeks at that point.
Right.
I'd just moved there, and so I had to convince the girl that I had not known very long. Hey babe, we got to move to Orlando.
Yeah, but how old were you both? Probably around that time, give or take.
Probably 22.
Okay,
23.
I don't see any 22-year-old girl going, no, I don't want to move back with him. I don't want to move with him to Orlando. He just got signed.
She had her shit together, trust me.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a great girl. She had her shit together, but she agreed. And the thing is, I moved 2 weeks later.
Right.
I moved to Orlando.
Go for it. That's awesome.
Rest of the band, 5 months later.
Oh wow.
Oh wait. So how does that work? How does it work where you
2 hour 45-minute commute 3 times a week for rehearsal?
Really? Okay.
I listened to what they said. I didn't realize there was some flex room in there. I just hauled ass and was gone. And
like, I'm ready to make the record. Let's make the record.
And then I'm like, why is no one else here?
And the dude's
So wait, where were the rest of them then?
All in Fort Myers still.
They were all still in Fort Myers?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And it's like back roads like Arcadia
right.
and like Haines City and all these different places. And it was just like, oh, we were going to practice every Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday or something like that. And I was like, oh, great.
Right.
Damn near 3 hours one way.
Right.
Got this. No problem.
So you guys are building up, and then did they eventually move up?
They did.
Did you guys get, did the label like find a producer for you guys?
Absolutely, yeah.
Search for one?
They let us have some say in it too, which was great.
Cool.
So they eventually all did move to Orlando, and then this is kind of where it ties into the Lou Pearlman and Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and Transcontinental Records part. So our rehearsal studio was at Transcontinental Records.
Okay.
And it was great. It was really good. A guy named Pierre Bjorklund was our manager at the time, kind of just put us in the studio constantly just to work on songs we already had. And we kind of wrote in a recording studio too. And then 3 doors down from that was our rehearsal space, which was really nice. But yeah, when I was in there, I didn't know anything about boy bands or Lou Pearlman or anything like that.
Right.
I knew that he was very successful.
He's a busy guy.
Yeah,
he's successful.
Very busy guy.
He's helping us out. Yeah.
And we got to meet Big Papa, they called him. He's gone now, but we got to meet Lou several times. He'd come into our rehearsal space, and I remember he walked in one time. He looked at our bass player. He's like, "You need to work out a little bit more." He's like, "You should cut your hair. I'm going to come back next week. I want you guys to take I Want to Hold Your Hand from the Beatles, same key, same exact melody, change the lyrics. I want to hear what it sounds like." And we were just like, "Okay." We left, and we're like, "That's not going to happen."
right. But,
nope.
But also, I mean, what a good, interesting, way, like that producer mindset of coming in. And,
it worked for him, obviously, several times. Yeah.
Right. Working for that, getting that band and stuff.
Yeah.
The idea, I've heard of a few things like that. I haven't done it, but the idea of going like, take this classic song, change the key, take away all the lyrics, see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it would have been like, oh, they're ripping off I Want to Hold Your Hand. But, I guess to the teeny boppers that were listening to whatever he produced at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So we ended up in the studio a lot. We used to go to this place called the Fight Night at the Roxy on Monday nights where, I mean, this sounds crazy now with today, but you would just go in there and people would go in, get drunk, sign up in a weight class, and beat the shit out of each other in a boxing ring with boxing gloves. But it was great.
Well, it's Florida, so you know.
True.
Everything's legal.
But you expect that in Florida.
They'd always put us in the VIP section.
And this is a Monday night in Florida, right?
Yeah, Monday night. Yeah.
This is a Monday. This is the light
and it
night.
went till 3:30 in the morning too. So, but they would put us up in the VIP section there, and I'd sit there and just be like having a drink with freaking Justin Timberlake, and I was like, oh, this is great. You know, these guys are like famous or whatever. And I remember I would go out and try to use that to like bring girls up into the VIP, and I'd be like, oh,
Justin Timberlake's up there, and they're like, Coons, like it's insane.
They were like, I don't care. I don't like that guy. I'm like, what?
Right.
Everyone else in the world does, but because you live in the same city,
right?
Apparently they just didn't give a damn. But it was fun.
So was that kind of, you guys weren't playing a lot in Orlando at the time. You were working, rehearsing. Did you guys gig at all? Or
we were
was it just
doing
kinda...
some shows. So the Transcon had a connection with XL 106.7, and they had a big connection with the House of Blues at Downtown Disney, which still today is one of the best sounded rooms I've ever heard in my life. But they did XL Teen Nights, and so again, we're trying not to like follow the path of a boy band.
Yeah,
but we're
you don't want
definitely
to
following that path.
Well, but the one difference is you guys are a band that's actually playing their instruments,
and that's what
not a coordinated dance thing.
Right. That's why they wanted us to do this, and so. But our songs, I mean, they weren't very poppy. I mean, a lot of them were pretty damn heavy. I mean, you know, along the lines of like a Creed or something like that. You know, like that
Creed filter of
Fuel.
that ilk.
Yeah.
Of
Well,
that
it's
time.
very much of that time frame. When you listen to Olive Carpet, it definitely, I mean, it's almost, to me, it's almost like a little time capsule.
Yeah, it is.
Right? Because it's very indicative of that time of early 2000s rock and roll.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I had 30 people call me when that the Calling song, the If I Could, Then I Would. They're like, dude, I heard your song on the radio. I'm like, oh, that's actually not us. It just sounds just like us. You know what I mean? So,
Damn it.
But yeah, they hooked us up with a lot of gigs at the House of Blues in Downtown Disney, and they were always sold out, and it was just like, it was nuts. But I mean, it was literally like children that you're playing for, children and their parents.
Right.
But they were so excited because they've only seen track acts.
Right.
They were really excited to see people playing instruments, and you know, it went really well, and that kind of started building us a nice following there. And then also in the downtown scene of Orlando, there's a place called the Sapphire Supper Club.
Okay,
it's now called the Social, and that's where Seven Mary 3 broke. That's where Top of the Secret played for years before they came Matchbox 20. That's where most of the rock bands of that era, in that city.
There's a lot of stuff going on, and you guys are a part of it, like not just outsiders. You're in it.
No, we're in it. Yeah.
So what happens with the record? You guys finished record up? How's the release look like?
We did not record our record at Transcon, so we kept doing demos to shop because our management realized it wasn't maybe the best fit. To be at Transcon, so as far as recording wise, because I mean they're great producers in there. I mean really really good vocal coaches and great like choreographers and things like things we didn't really need.
But you guys,
know what I mean?
You guys were needed to be an area to be a band, not part of like a Motown style machine.
Exactly.
Built around boy bands.
So we created a 3-song demo and took that demo and started shopping it around. Daniel Creech, the singer of Olive Carpet. I'm not sure how this connection actually happened, but somehow we landed Michael Wagner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
That was exactly my response. I'm like, really?
Especially as the guitar player. Are you kidding?
Yeah,
God.
I was like, he creates ungodly guitar sounds. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Wagner's awesome. Man.
490,000 or 490 million total records sold under his belt that he produced. And I was like, okay.
Sweet.
Like, we're going to record with Michael Wagner.
What did you guys record? Where was it? His place at the time?
His place is actually in Nashville.
Yes.
And it was the Wolf, the guitar player from the band Accept.
Yes.
It was his house and his property.
Okay.
And Michael had a big building where his studio was there.
Okay.
And it was just
What year was
nuts.
this?
That we recorded it in 2001.
2001. Okay.
Yeah. And it was nuts, dude.
How was his guitar set up? I nerd out on the way that his process for recording guitars.
Oh my God, it's insane.
So like how was he doing it then? Because I think he's changed it a little bit, but like what was it like going in as a guitar player?
Well, the guitar room in there. Okay, first off, so you've got a patch board that you plug into one time, and that patch splits into 10, 12 different heads.
Right.
And then those go into 40, 50 different cabinets in the guitar room.
Right.
And the guitar room had a door that was steel about that thick. and it would literally move your hair if you opened that door while you're tracking. I mean, it was loud as hell. There were probably, so you ever heard of a head mic? It looks like a human head.
Yep.
And then everything's inside the ears.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it kind of, you can position that thing if you want to move something around in a mix. So we did actually record it in surround sound too. But it's basically like, in parts of the record, if you got the right headphones and you're listening to it, you can hear like this guitar, like right here somewhere, or maybe down there. And it's really cool.
So it was a stereo mic setup, and he would surround the cabinets of the speaker cabinets around that.
Correct. And then on top of that,
fascinating.
there were several mics, right on the cabinets as well. Some maybe 16, 18 inches away from it. But he was basically getting like 40 guitar tracks for each take.
Yeah.
And
I've seen some of his some of the not older, but like other ways that he would do it. And it was usually a traditional 3 or 4 mic setup that he would have gridded out in a certain way. I think he's slightly simplified some of that, but still like the idea of the dude, you're the guitar player, you plug in, and then he goes, okay, everything's already rigged up between we're going to do the Marshall, the Orange, the Vox, all at once, all these sounds.
And the amp I fell in love with was called Engel, E-N-G-L. I still don't know anything about him today, but that was the
great boutique amps.
Yeah, bone-crushing sound came out of there. And I was like, that's way too heavy for us, but I love it.
Yeah.
And there's only a couple of tracks where I got to really put like that kind of dirt on the guitar. So, yeah.
Right.
But it was nice.
Well, so what is it? So he's so awesome. So what is it like? How does he record the rest of the band? Do you guys go in? You've done your demos, and then is it everybody kind of tracks at the same time just to kind of start, or
yes, to start
and get the drum tracks?
There's a click with the full band playing with drums and everything, and basically once that was done to everyone's satisfaction, then drums went first.
Got it.
And
and then the drummer, when he's doing his take, he's doing it on his own just to the demo. Okay.
And we're not even there. Like we're in Nashville. We're all young, and we're just like in a new party city. So he's like, it's probably going to take like 3 or 4 weeks to get drums the way I want them. Like,
you're like, sweet, I'm going to Broadway. I'm getting drunk.
Exactly. It's like, so what do we do? And he's like, go explore the city. I'm like, awesome. All right, sounds good. 5-bedroom apartment with like, and it's all paid for.
Label's putting you up.
Yeah, it was taken care of.
Stipend. You're good.
So thank you, Helma and Olga, that managed us at that point. You guys took such good care of us. My God.
One of the things that sticks out to me when I've heard you talk about these stories is some of the people that you met in Nashville at that time.
Oh God, yeah.
And I'm setting you up here, specifically somebody that you got to come play on the album that you would not think would be on this album.
Mr. Chris Thiele. Yes. So
Chris Thiele is considered probably the greatest living mandolin player right
yes,
now.
Absolutely.
Right. He was Nickel Creek, if you've ever heard of Nickel Creek.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was a star from Nickel Creek, and then the Punch Brothers, exactly, and just a really amazing musician, right?
And extremely young too when I met him. I mean, he's still young. He's a lot younger than I am.
Yeah, so was that like a label thing that was set up?
God, no, not at all. It's actually a good story, and I hope he gets to hear this because it was really funny. And I know he remembers it, but he's done a lot since then that we haven't. So, but it was around 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning. It was an all-night diner, and we went in. I think maybe Dan and I, and maybe Paul as well, the bass player, Paul Rippey, and we were just going into like it's picture like a lot bigger version of a Denny's that has live music.
Got it.
Like around the clock.
Yeah.
And we were sitting there, a little tipsy for sure, and just trying to sober up, eating some food. And I was like, this guy on the stage is like, he's insanely good. Am I drunk or is that guy really, really good?
Right.
Like, no, he's really, really good. And Dan's like, I'm going to go talk to him. We have a track on the Olive Carpet record called Bringing Me Down. It's like a 6/8 kind of love songy type thing. And he asked the guy, he's like, hey, man, my name's Dan. We're recording a record here with Michael Wagner. Would you want to come track with us? He's like, sure, I'll do it. No problem. He's like, okay. He's like, well, what would it cost? He's like, $40. I was like, okay. Yeah, let's do it. $40. So he drives to the studio maybe a week later, comes out, listened to the song one time, went one take, said, let me do it one more time. Second take. I mean, it's the most beautiful mandolin. It's just, he's that talented.
Just complete Nashville studio guy coming in and doing it.
Absolutely. And then lays it down. We're all like, just like, this guy's great. And I remember someone made a comment. I think it was Dan, the singer. He said, hey, if we, make it to the, get some awards for this or get to play it live sometime on TV? He goes, we'd really like you to be there. He goes, well, if it happens this year, I'm playing with Dolly Parton. I'm playing with Garth Brooks. I'm playing. We're just like, seriously?
We're like, okay.
Like, oh, you are that good.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew you were, but. And then he walks out to his car. I walk him out to the car, and he realizes he's locked his car keys in his car.
Okay.
It's like, okay. He's like,
no.
and his phone was in there too. He's like, can you call me a locksmith? So I said, yeah. Call a locksmith. It is $60 to get his car unlocked. So he's now in the red $20.
He's in the red $20 for laying down the mandolin part.
And I was a broke musician. I would have given him more money. But I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. It's like, oh no, it's fine. It's great. Whatever. But yeah. We met him, and then we met a hot French girl in the same place the same night who did like a little voiceover at the beginning of one of our songs called The Dances. It's just basically her saying something in a really sexy French voice to the context of, hello, you seem really nice. Can I dance with you? But it sounds so much sexier than that in French. So
this diner really brought some people on the record.
Yeah, it really did.
Is it you talking on Broadway?
I couldn't for the life of me tell you where that diner was.
Okay.
I feel like it was off the beaten path a little bit.
Okay.
But it was a lot of people there.
And this was like early 2000s.
Yeah, I'd say it was probably 01, maybe going into 02. It was.
Gotcha.
We started recording in the fall. We were supposed to be there 8 weeks, and we were there 10 and a half months. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So it took a minute.
It did.
So
we all became perfectionists, and we all got in each other's way. And
is that okay? Is that kind of what happened with why it turned into that long of?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like we each, when we each got to go in and do our parts, the rest of the band wasn't there, and then, we had all agreed just, play it the way we've always played it, play it the way we've rehearsed it, and we actually did spend 6 to 8 weeks rehearsing exactly how we would record everything.
Right.
So when we walked in, it was like, we know what we're doing. And then, we got to add some flair and some sizzle on top of that with Michael's input for sure. But, we expected to fully be done in 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah.
And then what like was it somewhere in there it just started changing a little bit? Like, and I kind of do want to change my drum part or my vocal or my something.
That and Michael has a very unique way of recording where if I'm going in to say do harmonies one day, normally in a studio you go in there and that's done in a couple hours, right?
Right.
Well, he wants me to do it 30 times.
Yes.
And then he's going to comp that down to like the perfect track per song. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that ended up taking weeks.
You're working on backing vocals for a day.
Yeah.
For entirely this entire day.
2 or 3 weeks.
For this one song. And then you come back and it's comped and actually, could I get you to do this a little different? Right.
Well, he never even comped them for me until they were all done. So I think I did 2 or 3 weeks of just backup vocals.
Wow.
And then we didn't hear the finished, everything comped down, finished product until everything was done.
Right.
And I mean, it was just like, oh my God, that sounds so much better than us. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he really wanted to catch the live feel as well. And it was an interesting process. I've recorded a lot since then and I've never done it that way before.
Right.
To where there's just me and Michael in the studio.
Yeah. He's very unique in the way that he does stuff. And he's a super, super talented, super interesting guy. Super interesting guy from everything.
He's a mad scientist of sound. He's great.
Yes. He's one of those guys that I follow and geek out on. So you guys finished up the record?
Yep.
Any big label release party style thing going on? Anything going on with that? What's the game plan?
Right back in Orlando at the House of Blues in downtown Disney again. While we were gone, because of the demos we'd done at Transcon, and they were finished, polished demos.
Right.
They were getting radio play on a couple of radio stations. And so
it's already building.
Yeah, but we had no idea about that because no one was telling us that was happening. And so when we came back to do an album release at the House of Blues, it was sold out. And it was great. It was like, and it wasn't just children and their moms this time. So it was really good. Yeah, we had a good time there. And then we left there, immediately started touring through something called NACA. It's the National Association of Campus Activities.
Yeah. Yep.
And
so how was that for you guys as a signed artist to get on that? Because usually it's like we gotta show up. Like NACA is you kind of audition and
exactly.
Okay. So did you guys audition?
We did.
Okay.
So we had some connections through one of the band members to where I think we got like a regional audition first, and we booked like 60 gigs out of it, which was great. Mm-hmm. But they're all over the damn country. So
right.
And then we got a bid to do the national audition, which happened to be held in Indianapolis, my hometown, at the Murat Temple.
Oh wow!
And we got to headline the second night, And it was a beautiful thing. Like my whole family
so
was
you guys
there,
were-
and it was packed. I mean, you got to play. I think it was 18 minutes. So it was
Yeah.
like mash up all your best shit,
Just
and hit them hard,
Just pound them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Jerry Lee Lewis, burn the piano down. Go knock
absolutely.
it out. Yeah.
And our management company's like, well, they wanted us to look good all the time. So like, that at that point they'd gotten us a bus.
Right.
They had full pyro, confetti cannons. I mean, everything you could imagine to just make. They wanted
Right.
this to like blow people away.
It's a rock and roll show, man.
It was for
Yeah.
sure. There's even like a remote control like Zeppelin thing flying around over the crowd. It was
Did it drop T-shirts?
It dropped glitter.
Drop glitter?
You guys had a glitter drop Zeppelin.
I didn't even know it. I was on stage playing. I just see
It's
it,
like,
and
what
I
does
see,
that thing
and I
do?
see the girl that kind of like our admin person, Fawn, is just like flying this thing around. I'm like, where did this come from? I was like, this is gonna look really good.
Can I fly the glitter Zeppelin?
I know.
Yeah.
We need a glitter Zeppelin.
We need a glitter
That'd be
Zeppelin.
hot.
Are you-
That should be my new band name.
I was about to say
Glitter
new band
That's
name.
a
Damn it, he
great-
called it. Glitter Zeppelin.
Glitter Zeppelin.
So yeah, we do that 18-minute thing, and it did come over flawlessly. It was really, really good, and the crowd was just like, I mean, they were eating it up. And so the way those work is you've got like a big performance hall, and then you've got what looks like a trade show
Right.
exhibit where
With
you've got
your
booths. Exactly. So just enough time for me to come off the stage, put my guitar back in its case, lock it up, and I start carrying it back towards the exhibit hall where the booths are. And I just see a line of people from the area where we just played, and it's
Yeah.
300-400 deep, and it's just going into the exhibit hall. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, well, they haven't opened the doors yet. People are waiting to get in. No, that wasn't the case at all. I walked past and I realized they're all in line for our booth, which
Right.
was fantastic. The not so fantastic part
Right.
is my mother, who has nothing to do with the band at all, is there with we had a huge calendar up on like a 10 by 20 foot huge calendar up on the wall behind the booth. And she's just markering in, erasing
Trying
the
to
marker.
book yeah.
And she's just like, oh, okay, cool. Cincinnati on the 17th of November, got it. Los Angeles, the 18th of November, no problem, got it. I mean, just booking us like
Right.
all over the country, back to back to back.
like,
And
Mom.
like, you need a jet to
Yeah.
do that, And so we had to take control of that. I think Fawn ended up, or our admin girl came in there and knew what to do. But I mean, thank God my mom did that and just started turning
Well,
people
just
away.
to start instead of turn people away.
And
but-
and we had to really digest the nightmare that was that schedule and make it plausible.
So how many gigs did you book out of that?
217
right.
So, and-
for the year.
for it was over about 18 months.
I was about to say
About
about
18-month period,
and
okay.
and they were all over the country,
All over the country.
and it was just all colleges.
Yeah, and
Okay.
they paid a minimum of $5,500.
Right.
So that was like, we're good.
Yeah.
Thank
yeah.
you.
No. Those are good gigs. So
And usually like a 45-minute set was all you were doing. So it was like,
Right.
and it was all original too. So it's like
Perfect.
Yeah, love it.
yeah. So that's all. So favorite college show experience.
Oh man, so many good ones.
That's why I said that
Worms.
because
I have one
know.
that's the most interesting for sure.
Okay.
It was Emporia State University, which I think is in Topeka or close to Topeka, Kansas.
Okay.
And it was Halloween, and we were playing like in an auditorium. And before the curtains, big heavy curtains closed, and I just kind of peeked out to see what was going on, and I realized like the entire place is filled, and every female in there, which was a lot, 1,500 or more, were all wearing Catholic schoolgirl outfits. And I didn't know what was going on. I was like, pinch myself. I said, really? I'm like, Paul, come over here. He looks out there. He's like, oh, shit, this is going to be fun. It's going to be real fun. So we party, play a great show with them. They invite us back to a couple different sorority houses. And they do like I don't know what it's called, but it's like where you go to every floor, make out with a girl and take a shot, and then go to the next floor, make out with a girl and take a shot. And it was great. It was like
It's a shot crawl.
yeah, it's like a 7-story building. So like, this is fantastic. And you had to do it all the way down too. So it was fun. And then as we were walking to that place, I remember seeing like, I guess he was a homeless guy or something. And he was just kind of like, struggling to walk all around campus. And so we ended up hanging out all night. We wake up the next morning and I go walking through the quad area because I have no idea where our bus is or anything like that. And I see that guy dead, floating in a fountain.
Oh,
in
wow.
in the middle of the quad.
Wow.
This homeless guy.
I've never heard this one.
And butt naked.
Butt naked.
Yeah. And I just kind of walked by about, 10, 20 feet away. It's like, that's that guy. And he's just like, just keep walking. I was like, okay, let's go.
God almighty.
Yeah, it was bad, but yeah.
I mean, I was waiting for the part where this guy then haunted you, like I know what you did last summer.
Oh no, well, yeah, still see him in my dreams every once in a while, but
So
yeah,
I mean,
it was a crazy night.
Your early mid-20s, your record that's signed, you've come out.
We've got 5
You're
single guys in the band, and we've got
making good money on a tour bus, driving all around and playing colleges.
yes, and pissing off bands that are doing way better than us on the radio too. Like
because you're actually making your money on tour. You're not schlubbing it when you're doing this.
And we have a bus pulling a 27-foot trailer that was like completely customized to fit all of our equipment that was numbered. So like when people at the end of a show are like, "Hey, can we help you?" I'm like, yeah. Just match the numbers. Right. Normally, you're like, oh no, there's a certain way it's got to go or whatever. And like, okay, like cabinet 1 goes here, cabinet 2 goes here, all this. So it was nice. But it just turned into like a situation because, again, our management company, Helmut and Olga, they really wanted us to look good. So they put us in a 53-foot diesel pusher. They put us in an RV, different things like that with this big trailer. Right. And we go do shows with like Trust Company and bands like that who had like a pull behind U-Haul. Right. And they're like, why do you guys have this? I'm like, I feel bad because like you guys are killing it on the radio right now, and just our management company's just been good to us. He's like, well, fucking live it up, man. I was like, yeah.
Well, so how long did that go? Did it start getting any traction on the radio? Did it start?
It did,
pushing?
yeah. We did really well, and I was kind of like the one that followed a lot of that. I was in good with. I was kind of like the treasurer of the band as well. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was my age or the fact that I actually was very responsible about things like that. I didn't want it to end. I know that these things can end as quickly as they begin. Absolutely. So I really tried to focus on helping, and Fawn Fletcher, our admin person at the time, she was really, really good about, keeping me updated with things and letting me know, like, we're doing really well in Clovis, California. Still never been there. I don't know why it was like the #1 city to play our music, but it was. But all the different places or traction that we were picking up in different cities. Atlanta was a huge home away from home for us. Indianapolis was always good to us as well. And it was just kind of like if something was doing really good on the radio, she would actually get those reports and send them to me. That kind of looked like a graph that you can't really understand. So I had to learn that as well.
So it's getting traction. It's building. It's still going and everything. How long did this band? How long were you guys in this?
We split up in 2004, almost 2005. So we toured the majority of that time. There were times where we were out on the road for 8-9 months at a time. So. Right. And, we always were like, when we saw that we were going to be able to go home and relax, we're all like so excited. And then we get home and it's just like, you got to mow the grass. Yeah. Well, it's like not, the light switches off. Yeah. And like 11 o'clock the next morning, like, the bass player's texting me. He's like, "Are strip clubs open this early on a Tuesday?" Like, right.
But because you're not used to what the real world looks like.
It's so hard to shut that off.
Especially when you're doing 215 dates or whatever for 18 months.
It sounds pompous, but like everyone's treating you like a damn king everywhere you go. Right. Like they're putting you up in great hotels. Right. They're feeding you. They're loving you. They want to see you play. They're treating you like a damn rock star. And all of a sudden, you got to go home and do laundry. It's like, damn, this is
I don't fucking do laundry.
Like, I want to go back on the road now, even though you're dying to get home. You're like, this sucks.
Yeah. So was there a little bit of burnout since you guys, after a couple years and hitting it? And
well, the deal was we needed to make a gold record to record a second record. Right. And I don't know the final numbers. It was over 300,000, which was good. And those were sold there's a lot of unaccounted for ones too. I mean, we sold a lot.
Isn't it ridiculous? Like today, that is such a massive success.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Such a massive success.
I wish it was more so then. But
yeah, I know. But like now, like that's, you know what I mean? Like that's a complete financial success.
Well, it just shows the difference in how the music industry has changed.
Has changed in the
15,
20 years.
I mean, you really don't even have that whole collegiate touring thing for bands that much anymore.
Not the same way. Yeah. Not the same way. I mean, it's there's still an area and avenue for it for sure. Mm-hmm. And I've known a few people who have done some of that stuff, but not like that, not to that extent.
Well, college radio was just so big in the 90s also.
It was,
right?
yeah.
And that's something that's sort of, especially like in Charlotte, for example, I mean, there's not any of that.
No.
Wilmington, North Carolina had a big like local music scene and good small touring act scene when the Mad Monk was there, and they had a local radio station, right?
Exactly.
And then same thing when you look at the different places in Chapel Hill.
Oh yeah, college radio. That's exactly
Durham,
that's exactly why.
It's all just kind of
Chapel Hill, Durham area. Yeah. It's still considered to be one of like this musical mecca in the country. Yeah. Because of college radio.
It's true, and we've got some people, and I'd love to just tell them thank you right now. Like the Coster family that owns the Evening News, they're like the sweetest people on earth. They do so much for the local original music bands here, and
absolutely,
and they're holding on tight. You know, I talk to Don probably once a month, and he's like, "We're not going anywhere, man. We're not going anywhere." And I just love to hear that. And I don't know how they're keeping afloat, but I'm so glad that they are, and I can't wait to get in there again when everything's back open and just play for them. They're like, they're becoming like family to me. I really like those people. They're good souls. So.
Well, I think it's kind of what we were all talking about at the beginning of this, and maybe even not even all on air as we were sitting up, right? About how we've had these little glimpses of shows recently.
Yeah.
And then, when we're playing, all of a sudden it used to be that Todd and I would go play a duo, or when you and I would go play duos back in the day, right?
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like, well, we're the entertainment in the corner. And now we're playing a duo and people are like, hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
What y'all doing next?
Yeah.
Like they're into it and they're paying attention and they want to be there.
Absolutely.
And it's you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah, very, very true. And that's for us and for the fans too. I mean, they're starting to realize, like, damn, I really enjoyed this. I mean, they were probably inundated with it at one point, and us as musicians, we're always like posting, we got another show this week, another show next week, another show that week. And it's like, okay, well, I can see him anytime. Right. And now it's like, you can't.
Yep.
So they're really latching on to it. And a perfect example of the show we just did Friday night at Bradshaw's. Thank you, Justin. That was an awesome night, by the way. It was at max capacity at 6:25, and we started playing at 7. So, I mean, it's great.
It's ridiculous.
It really is. I was like, this is fantastic. So,
yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be a boom that's already starting and is going to be going and happening for years, for a few years. That I think we're going to have a defining thing with our art, and that we'll definitely be able to see. But so you guys are just to get back a little bit.
Yeah.
So what I'm wanting to do is make the bridge from, because this is fascinating to me. I don't know none of this.
Oh, good.
But I want to get to the point where you're here.
Gotcha. Okay. So as the band disbanded because we didn't reach gold and didn't get to a second record.
So is that what happened?
Yeah.
Management said, "Hey, you guys, too bad. We're not
not going to do it again," basically.
Right. And the band decided not to.
Yeah.
Just
we hung on for a little while and played and whatnot, but there were musicians in the band. I mean, Paul Rippey, he's been playing bass for Lee Brice for the last 14, 15 years.
Okay.
I mean, he's just a super talented guy, great friend of mine, and he was going to be a musician for his life. There's no question. So, when he saw kind of the writing on the wall, it's like he moved to Nashville, and within, days, he was playing with bands like Shadazy and some other up-and-coming artists, and then landed the gig with Lee. And, I mean, it's a great connect to have. When Lee comes to town, even when he's playing with Luke Bryan, it's like, I'm on the bus. It's great. It's fantastic. Right. So, yeah. But, and then, we went through a couple of different drummer situations while we were touring, and
drummers, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's really only 2, but it was Nick was our main
still
drummer.
Situations.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's okay to call him a situation.
Yeah, it was just. Well, I mean, he had a big family, and he needed to be home with his children,
right?
And that makes perfect sense to me. And I was so glad I didn't have that conundrum, at the time. So
at the time, right? Exactly.
Yeah. So it was just we had to make do, and we had some really good times with Nick, and some things that happened on the road that were very memorable, very memorable. And it's a bond you make when you live with guys in that closer quarters for that long. It's just like, oh my God.
Yeah,
did we do that?
It's definitely a brother thing. Being in a band is like being married, but to 5 other people.
Yes, absolutely.
And then sometimes you're just like, I can't stand you, but we have to go play.
Yeah. And we toured with one tech that kind of did everything, and then a sound man as well. And it was just like a little family there.
For sure.
The grossest family I've ever been around, but it was fun.
So after the band, did you decide to stay in Orlando, or did you decide to? So were you kind of around Orlando for a little bit?
I stayed in Orlando until 2005, till late 2005, almost 2006. And the job that I had allowed me to work from anywhere in the country. And luckily, I'd just been all over the country, so I was like, I really like Charlotte. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's growing fast, it's clean, it has 4 distinct seasons, none of which are like, hardcore.
Right.
And from living up in Indiana and even up, near Chicago, and where it's really, really cold.
Right.
I know I didn't want that anymore. So.
Right.
So I guess I've met a lot of people who call me a halfback. Where I started up north, went to Florida, moved halfway back. So.
Right.
I moved here, and honestly, I didn't jump right back into music right away when I moved to Charlotte. I was kind of like, I didn't know anybody. I'd never really spent any time here. Didn't have any friends here or anything. And I bought a house on Indian Trail, which is not exactly the mecca of anything, for live music or anything like that. So it probably took about a year and a half. And then, as we mentioned earlier, Rick Miller and the Sunset Club, I got to be good friends with him. And he's like, well, come play at our place sometimes. Like, okay. And again, it was just me.
Yeah.
And
that's, I mean, that's a vastly new thing for you.
Yeah, just to play on my own and be the singer all of a sudden too. So that's kind of when all that started as well. And I'm sure Jay can attest, like the first couple times he played with me, my right hand is extremely percussive because I played for so long by myself.
Right.
So there's a lot of pickup notes happening with my right hand, and it's taken me a while to break that since I've been playing with drummers. It was just so busy just keeping a beat or a rhythm, with the chords I'm playing or things in between the chords just to make the sound a little bigger.
Just to fill it out a little bit. Yeah, absolutely.
And so, that's been a habit that's been somewhat hard to break, but
I think it's a good tool to have.
Yeah,
it's a good tool to have.
It's hard to turn off sometimes. But
Yes.
but yeah, it's probably 2-3 years I did that on my own, kind of on and off, not playing that many gigs. And then when I met up with Matt Curl, when I met up with Fred and Whitney and yourself, Jay, and started doing 2-3 piece things, stuff like that. And there was a 2-year period where like Matt and I would just leave on a Thursday, go to like Savannah, play Thursday night, Orlando, or maybe Jacksonville Friday night, Orlando Saturday night, and then just drive home. And we just do that all the time. And it wasn't even because it was profitable, because it definitely wasn't. It's just like we love to play. Yeah. It was just fun and to get out there, and it helps you kind of cut your teeth. And the more I play, the more I want to play. So it's like, yeah.
So switching into the role of being like, what was the joke earlier? Said Richie Sambora from going from being the Richie of a band to kind of now being the John of the act in a way.
Now you are Bon Jovi.
Now you are Bon Jovi. You are the Jove. Also, too, I would probably feel a little upset if somebody compared me to, if someone was like, "You're like Bon Jovi," I'd be like, "No, I don't know." But
early Bon Jovi, but that wouldn't feel nearly as bad.
I'll take that all day. But like switching, like, how does that switch be? Like, do you like it? Is there parts you like about it, you don't like about it, from being the side guy to now the front guy?
Well, the hardest thing for me is when people in the band want to take on new songs and things like that. There's a lot that you have to take on as a singer, as you know.
Yeah.
It's first you got to find the right key. Then you've got to learn the melody, then the lyrics, and then get the chords, and any significant parts of the song, maybe leads or things like that, they have to go along with it. Whereas, like when I always joke with Craig, our bass player, he's just like, "Oh yeah, it's just 6 notes for me."
Yeah, what key is it in? B? Got it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I always
Jay
joke,
over here.
Yeah. And I always
Jay
joke,
over here.
Sax player guy.
I joke and tell Fred, I'm like, "Oh, this one's in B flat minor." He's like, "Okay, thanks."
Yeah.
But there's just a lot to it. There really is. And I, more than anything in the world, would love to set my guitar down and just sing. I would love that. Yeah. And I've gotten the opportunity a couple times. Eric Leach from Olive Carpet, he lives in Orlando still, but he's come down, or come up now, I guess, to the Charlotte area and played some gigs with us. And he's one of the greatest guitar players I've ever heard, let alone been in a band and played with.
Yeah.
I mean, he's literally Slash mixed with like Joe Bonamassa. He's just that good. He really is. And so when he comes into town, I don't even touch a guitar. And I just feel like I can put on a better show. I can concentrate.
Absolutely.
I can sing. I can interact with the crowd.
Todd loves it when he doesn't have to play guitar.
Oh, it's the greatest, isn't it?
It's best. Oh, I get to be frontman right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
He gets to run around.
Absolutely.
If I have a gig where production's done and like they're giving us wireless on everything, I immediately go, we're hiring another guitar player. Like,
absolutely.
There's no way that I'm not going to want to put my guitar down and run out in the middle of people.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
Same. And I can't lean over backwards and do a death metal scream with an acoustic guitar on my shoulders. So.
It doesn't fit. It doesn't work.
It
as well.
doesn't look good and doesn't sound good either. I usually fall backwards. So.
Yeah. So do you have like, with all of this original stuff as well as knowing how to go in and do covers stuff, as far as like the original stuff, do you still find like kind of get enjoyment out of doing that? Some people are now like, you know what, dude, I don't want to write songs anymore.
Well, I've definitely hit some writer's block for the last few years. I'm not good at writing about happy things, and I've been very happy lately. So
It's the Dee Snider joke. It's hard to write your second album as a mad metal band about the man bringing you down when
Absolutely.
you're sitting outside your pool in Beverly Hills.
Exactly. When you're happy,
Yeah.
My record, Smoking Bourbon, was about my first divorce, and it's very clear. If anyone hears that and then goes back and listens to it, like, oh, that makes total sense now. And there's one happy song on it, and there's one kind of funny, catchy song that I actually might be doing later. And
yeah, we'd love to hear it.
And those are the two songs I still play from that record. Put it that way. So
Right.
yeah. So it's like I still love to do them, and I have written some new songs, but with the things being the way they've been lately, with the pandemic or the panty, as I call it now, in a panty. But it's just been more of a concentration on giving people what they want to help keep these bars open, keep them packed, and keep sales going, so
Keep
we can do what we want
sanity,
to
too.
do later.
Yeah. Keep sanity too. I think that's great, man. Hard edit. The secret code word for this week number 3, is hum along. All capital, all one word. HUMALONG. You can find the link on my Instagram, which is @ToddAJohnson, or by going to makingnoisepod.com and selecting contest. The secret code for week 3 is hum along. On the West, what was that record?
It's called Smoking Bourbon.
Smoking Bourbon. Okay, and is that on socials?
Yep,
or
you can get it at Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes, anywhere you buy music.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What was the funny song you were talking about?
It's called The Final Thing.
Okay.
And The Final Thing, my buddy Donovan Lyman, who's in a band called Blue Meridian back in the day, he and I would get together right from time to time and worked on a song for several months when we were on the tour. And come to find out, this little love song we'd been working on was written about the same girl that we were both dating unknowingly. So,
So wait a minute. So y'all were okay. So just so I understand this, y'all were in 2 separate bands,
Yeah.
and you kind of had 2 different touring schedules.
absolutely. Yeah.
And then so like you'd come home and you'd be like, oh man, I'm gonna go hook up and go see this girl, right?
Yep.
And then you'd come back and you talk to him, and be like, oh man, I love this chick. And then he would come home and go see this girl and be like, oh man, this chick is awesome. And then come back and talk to you about it.
Yes.
And y'all never knew that it was the same.
No, not at all. He was writing more or less a country love song, and and I was just trying to be on board and add to that any way that I could. And then one day we realized we're writing about the same damn girl. So. Amy.
So then,
Amy, you hear this, Amy?
this is you. This is you.
It'd be more funny if her name was Karen, I think.
That'd be really good. But then the lyrics changed from being nice and sweet to it's called The Final Thing because there's a line in the song that says, I hope that sparkle in your eye is the final thing to die.
Oh God. Okay.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing that.
I want to hear it. I want to hear it, man. Dude, thank you so much once again for being here. Is there anything else you want to add? Where can we find you online and where you're playing shows? And
Randizzo242 on Instagram, Randy Paul and the Revelry on Facebook, or just my Randy Paul page. I promote both of them there as well. And anytime you guys visit those pages, you'll see the upcoming shows that we've got coming on, and things are really picking up right now. So it's nice. It's nice. And we'll be at the Gin Mill finally on May the 15th.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute getting in there. I think the management just thought I was a all original sad country singer, so I had to prove otherwise.
We know you know how to make it. We know that you know how to bring the party. So.
Absolutely.
Randy Paul is always a good time.
Damn straight. Let's do it.
Dude, looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to the song.
Absolutely. Thanks,
here,
man.
Thanks. And now to perform his song, The Final Thing, Randy Paul.
I'd like to drown you, but I love you. And I want to kill you, but I can't. And I'd like to take the place of anyone, but I want to be a better man. I can't help loving you, but then you can't help loving other men. You're like a shark when the streets flood, and everybody's wearing blood. I'd like to drown you, but I love you. And I want to kill you, but I can't. And if every way you see there's a better man than me, I'd like to kill you with my hands. I've always been a gentleman, and I swore I'd never raise a hand. So I hope that sparkle in your eye is the final thing to die. I'd like to drown you, but I love you, and I wanna kill you, but I can't. And if everywhere you see there's a better man than me, I'd like to kill you with my hands. And I don't feel good. No, I don't feel good. In fact, it's been since I met you, since I could. I'd like to drown you, but I love you, and I wanna kill you, but I can't. And I'd love to place your fat face upon my shotgun, but I wanna be a better man. I'd like to drown you, but I love you, and I wanna kill you, but I can't. And you know that I can't. And if everywhere you see there's a better man than me, and if everywhere you go there's 6 suitors in a row, I'd like to kill you with my hands. But baby, understand, I wanna be a better man.
Man, that was good. It was Randy. Dude.
Awesome, man. I always love hearing Randy sing. I've loved playing that song because the reaction we get on people's faces when they're watching it and they start off and they're like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's great.
Oh, he's making
it. It's always the old married couple that are just looking at each other kind of side-eye, like waiting for one of them to laugh. And then once that guy laughs, they're like, oh, okay, now I can laugh too.
Oh, man, it was good to see him. We'll definitely have to have him back and do something
Absolutely.
with him, for sure. Absolutely. All right, everybody. Well, thank you. Make sure to enter for the gift card thing. I think it's next week or the week after. You'll figure it out. You'll see it.
Go clicky, clicky.
Clicky, clicky. And we'll see you next week, everybody.
Thanks, y'all.
Woo!